So, what cases bother you, if any?
I would say in the prep room, I think the obvious answer is kids, and there are kids that have stuck with me, but there's also children I've buried who had really hard, sad lives, and so not that they were better off, but I was caring for them a last time when they were finally at peace, so they weren't as upsetting as most, I guess, would think. People who are murdered are probably one that really bothers me a lot because they were somebody who didn't choose or expect or understand what was going on all the time, and it could never be explained to them. They oftentimes died in fear and in pain and scared, and like it chokes me up thinking about that they would die. Like, that would be the worst death, I feel like, is dying in that way. Especially somebody who's raped and murdered. Some of those just will always stick with me, always be in my mind. I give an extra little bit of care because I cannot even imagine what their end was like. So I think those probably stick with me the most. I'm sure there's others over the years. Some teenagers who have died in bad accidents and things. Some of the firsts for me have always stuck with me and not so much bothered me, but I've thought of more often over the years just because they were first, first suicides, first car accidents, first identical twins. Identical twins are it's just a weird situation when you have somebody standing alive and somebody in a casket that you've been taking care of, and they have all these features that are identical, and it's just an odd feeling.
I can imagine.
Front of the house, making arrangements and things for children, I would say is the hardest, but not probably for the obvious reasons. Often because a lot of the emotion gets poured on us. Those are the times I think I've had families maybe be a little ruder to me because the emotion is really, they don't know where to place it. And so it often comes out on me, and maybe I've had families that maybe don't connect with me as well sometimes for baby families or children families because I've had to take their child out of the house. I've been that person that was taking their kid away from them. And so, even though I rocked at what I did, I'm still seen as the enemy in a lot of ways. So that to me is hard because it bothers me because I'm such a pleaser and such, I'm pouring everything I have into them, and I can't make anything better, and they need somebody, and I'm that person that they maybe go against in the situation. Or I think controversial families or things where, I don't know, you maybe have the wife, the ex-wife, the kids who hate the wife currently, a lot of family drama. Yeah. Some of those
exhausting.
They're exhausting.
Yeah.
And they make you want them to be over, and you don't connect with them.
Yeah.
They don't so much stick with me, but there are some that they do stick with you because some of the pain that's within that family, you almost carry it for a little while, and so that sticks with me for a little while. But front of the house, I don't know that there's anything that weighs on me as much as caring for a body of somebody who's been murdered or abused or something like that. It's just too much. It's a lot of darkness with those.
For me, suicides stick with me, both on the front end and the back end. It's hard. On the back end, in my mind, and I pray to God I can never understand this, I just don't understand that moment of just saying, I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah. That's why I always say, I hope you're happy where you're at right now.
Yeah.
When I'm involving a person, because it was a selfish act in the moment as well as what they were choosing for themselves. But a lot of times you've met the family,
yeah,
and you see what it did to them, and so it's like, well, I hope you're happy with what you've chose here. It's terrible of me probably to say that, but You want to know why.
I
And what
definitely
was-
want to know why. And then I feel helpless and extremely vulnerable and almost afraid to connect with the family because there's literally nothing. I mean, there's never anything you can really say, but there's nothing. I've never met someone that says, I'm so glad they did this. You know, it's always a hurt. It's a different type of hurt and a different type of experience to witness. Children, to be honest, I haven't worked on many children, thank God. I can't imagine as a mother what it's like to have to work with or look another mother in the eyes and say, I'm sorry. And car accidents bother me. They always have, and I don't know whether it's because it's truly unexpected. You were on your way somewhere and you're gone.
That's it.
Or whether it's almost like I fear that they were in excruciating pain. Yeah, those things bother me both on the front and the back.
Because I think anything where I develop a fear of that happening to me or my family, like house fires or drownings, things like that, where they're traumatic deaths that I then get almost an anxiety from. So I guess those stick with me too. Yeah, house fires, drownings, car accidents. I'm always overly protective of everything all the time. I mean, there'll be days I unplug all sorts of things around the house because I'm like, okay, just in case, you know, or like, get your life jacket on, but Mom, I'm in the house. I don't care. No, I don't do that, but just being overprotective because of what we do. But we see how randomly death can happen. You know, I've had people, a guy went into the backyard to do something in a rainstorm, slipped, fell, broke his neck, dead. You can't prevent that. You can't do anything. You can't prepare for it. Chainsaw accidents, you name it. People getting hit out running, on bikes, things falling, you know, a tree falling, a limb falling down and hitting a motorcyclist. And it was just that precise moment that you know, you can't prevent. That was destined to happen maybe somehow.
Definitely.
I don't know. Like, there's all these things I think we want to understand and we never will.
And that's where the faith comes in. So let's talk a little bit about the mind of a funeral director. We're crazy, y'all. No, I'm just joking. But let's talk about anxiety and fear, because I think that's something we don't talk about. Like, what are your fears? Are you afraid of death?
Horribly. Like, so much I can't think about it.
Yeah,
like,
me
I
too.
do not let myself think about it because it will drive me crazy. I don't know so much if I'm afraid of me dying as much as I'm afraid of me not being here. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Because I'm afraid of missing everything that's going on here. Because whatever's going to happen to me when I die is what it is. I can't prevent it at this point because I'm living.
Right.
So it's the fact that I'm scared that I'll be done with this world when that time comes. So I just don't think about it. Honestly, I try not to, because like right now I'm getting like
Anxiety, right?
because you're making me talk about it.
And I think people need to know that we're afraid too.
Yes,
like,
terribly
you know,
afraid.
Yeah, like I have separation anxiety with my family really bad. I'm tearing up thinking about things. But
We're gonna have to medicate after this video.
After my uncle passed away, the first time that we were together as a family, I had an anxiety attack when it was time for me to leave, because I just knew somebody was going to die and we weren't going to all be together again, and that scares the hell out of me. I'm not afraid. I'm more afraid of losing a family member than I am of me dying, because I figure, you know, I'll come back to see you, believe me.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't know if, almost like if they'll be able to find me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think there's so many scenarios And we always think, oh, that'll just never happen. And when my niece died, she was 7 and was killed. And I think that was such a realization to me that this can happen anytime, any scenario, anything. Like, we're not saved from any death that might be out there because it can happen at any time.
Yeah.
So, like, I am hyper, like, over the top. My husband will tell you about my kids. I'm terrified of them being taken, of them being hurt, of them being anything, because you never know. It could happen. It could happen is what I say. And I can't, man, if I could spend all day trying to prevent every scenario, but we can't do that. Like, that's no way to live. So whether it's because I'm a funeral director that I'm that way, or if it's just because I am a high anxiety person, I don't know, because I think I was this way before as a funeral director, but I think we see more, and I think it drives also the other way, where people live more freely and embrace life more and say, well, we never know when it's going to happen, so I'm just going to live it up because my time could be any time.
Definitely.
I wish I could go to that side, but then I feel like I would be prepared for the other side. So I live on the I don't not live life up, but I stay prepared for anything at any time. At least I like to try and think I'm that way.
That's the key. You think you are that way.
I think I'm prepared.
Because there's always a curveball.
Like, I run scenarios and I'll keep myself awake at night. Okay, so if a fire in my house, if a fire happens in this room, how am I getting to these? How am I getting to the kids? Or how am I getting out of the house? How am I doing this? I run scenarios, and that's just my mind at all times is a little crazy.
So let's end on a high note.
Yes.
What is Kari Northey? Am I pronouncing your last name correctly? Okay. What is Kari Northey's self-care routine? What do you do to take care of you?
Probably overeat really good food.
Okay.
I do things that make me happy, I guess. You know, extra snuggles, extra kisses. I work out every morning. Like, to me, if I don't, I have to get up. If it means a little less sleep, it does. I get up and work out every morning. I try to take time, like, I am that exact meme of every mom where it says, you know, you're exhausted, but your husband's asleep, your kids are asleep, and you're still up watching Netflix. Why? It's because it's the only quiet moment of your day. Like, that's me. I don't know, self-care. I'll go get my nails done once in a while. You know, just trying to take 5 minutes to do something for myself, or talking to the people who make me feel the best or happiest. Or some days it's just avoiding drama. You know, I think we all have friends that are just drama, and just telling yourself you're gonna avoid them today or this week, or you're gonna stay away from social media because that's what pulls you in to drama. So it's not so much even knowing what to do, it's knowing what to avoid.
Okay.
I think is some of the balance. My life is definitely not balanced. I wish I did better self-care. I feel like I don't have time for what I really could do or would want to do maybe for myself. I used to love getting absorbed in books, but I'm too tired to read books. You know, I'd fall asleep every time I try and start books. What else do I do? This to me is self-care. Stepping away, like, I miss my kids terrible being here, but I know that 2.5 days away, recharging with fellow professionals, with students, with people who have passion for this business, pouring into them and them pouring into me, ignites me to go home and, like, attack and get more videos and pour back into families I'm meeting with and put more energy out there. So this to me is big time self-care, is going away, and I would love to just go lay in my hotel room and have a quiet moment and watch Netflix because it's quiet, but I'm getting more by spending time with you and by going to dinner with like-minded people and doing that. So that's a better choice for self-care.
Okay. But yeah, for me, it's time alone and travel.
Okay.
Yeah, I love people, but I also love being by myself.
Yeah.
Being in the house, in my panties, and my t-shirt.
You said panties.
Yeah, and not having to get dressed or do anything. Heaven for me. and then travel, new experiences, meeting new people. This is cathartic. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yes.
No. Is it
Yes.
cathartic?
Yeah, cathartic.
Yeah, this is cathartic, just talking. And that's another reason I started YouTube as well. It's like I can vent in a creative
It's
way.
a diary without having to write, and it really is. It's
Yes.
just putting out your experiences and your thoughts and trying to connect with anybody else who can challenge you and support you and question you and help you. And agreed.
Definitely.
Agreed.
So thank you so much for
You're welcome.
taking this time
It's
with
just
me.
kindred spirit. It's one of
Yes.
those things like you meet and it's good. I love it.
So tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, so over at Kari Northey on YouTube and KariNorthey.com, Kari@KariNorthey.com is my email. So I always take questions there. You can post them in comments on YouTube, but I may not always see them. So if it's something really important, you just email me. And always shoot it over to Joelle, and she will pass on if you have anything for me or for us, or hopefully we'll have more videos together in the future.
We will.
I think so. Once I connect with people, I kind of lock them in and I don't let them go.
Locked in. Well, you guys live life, love hard, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.